So, you're probably wondering about what you can do to boost your metabolism, get your weight back in check, and just have the energy that you need in order to live your best life. In fact, you're probably starting to see evidence to suggest that your metabolism is declining. Perhaps the things that you used to eat, you're not able to eat them anymore. You're starting to see your weight go up. It's becoming more difficult to lose weight, to shed the pounds. In fact, you might be noticing that you're starting to pack on a bit of excess weight in the belly area. And in fact, you're probably concerned that you need to boost your metabolism. So today, I am going to cover ways that you can boost your metabolism that are super simple. Doesn't always mean that it's easy, but it's simple. But also, let's talk a little bit about metabolism itself. But before I get into all that, let me just start by telling you a little bit about me. My name's Dr. Nicole LaShawn. I'm a nurse practitioner. My background is in family medicine. Here on this channel, I am helping Black women ages 40 and up to create a life that we want to live rather than the one that has been assigned to us. On this channel, I talk about things related to health, wellness, nutrition, and travel, and just creating a space where we can live our best lives because I believe that health is wealth. So if that is something that you're interested in, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, put a like on this video, and let's get into metabolism. So let's start just by talking a little bit about metabolism and what that is. So I am going to be looking down at my notes because I want to ensure that I'm giving you accurate information. But metabolism generally is a process that your body uses to break down the nutrients that we give it into energy. So generally when I'm speaking to my patients about metabolism, it's because they're finding that they're not burning calories in the way that they think that they should, and because they're starting to put on weight. So generally speaking, when it comes to metabolism, and your metabolic rate, there are certain things that we just don't have control over. Most of us have a baseline metabolic rate that can't be shifted too much, although there are things that we can do to help optimize our efficiency into coming into alignment with our metabolic rate. So that's what I'm going to share with you. But when it comes to our metabolic rate, there are things that are kind of stable, and that's like the things that we don't have control over, which would include like our age, our gender, our fat to muscle ratio, the size of our body. So if you have a larger body, you're just going to need more calories, generally speaking. If you have a smaller body, you may need less. So those are the things that impact our metabolism that we don't necessarily have control over. But there are things that we can do for our metabolism, and I am going to cover some of those things here for you because I think that they're extremely important. So number one, let's start by focusing in on what I think is one of the most important and valuable things that I believe that you can do for your metabolism, and that's listening to your body. Taking time to listen to your body. I think that before you start on this journey of trying to figure out how to boost your metabolism, one of the first steps that you can do, one of the best things that you can do for yourself, is just to take a minute to slow down, to tune in to your body, and to try and listen to what your body is telling you that it needs. That means trying to minimize the noise of external sources such as deadlines, responsibilities, expectations, timelines. So taking a moment to just tune into yourself and asking your body what it needs from you. What does it need from you right now in this very moment? What is it trying to tell you? How does it feel? What need does your body have that can be met? And I know that might sound awkward, especially coming from a medical professional. And in fact, it may be the first time that a medical professional has ever said, listen to your body, because you've likely been told to listen to your doctor, listen to your nutritionist, listen to your pastor, listen to your elders. there's a very good chance that you've never been told to listen to your own body. So it may take some practice, but I tell you, it can be done. So I just believe that it's important to recognize that we as women need to work in harmony with our body. The goal here is not to beat our body into submission, okay? Our body is a tool and a gift that we can use to live in our best life, our best health, our best level of wellness. And we want to just incline our ear to hear what our body is telling us. And we want to work with our body, not against our body. So our bodies are a part of who we are, and we want to honor that. We want to honor who we are and where we're at on this journey, no matter what condition our bodies are currently in. We want to just be grateful for the body and the way that it is trying to protect us and keep us safe and help to keep us as healthy as possible. And I personally believe that our bodies do desire to be healthy and whole and healed. And I think that our bodies deserve that. You know what I mean? Our bodies do so much work for us. They keep us upright and keep us functional and keep us moving forward in order for us to achieve our desires and our goals. And so mind, body, and spirit, I think, is important. And I think it's really, really valuable for us to teach ourselves how to recognize that our bodies do have a voice, that they're speaking to us and through us, and that we learn to trust ourselves, right? We need to learn to trust ourselves. And the way that we can do that is by practicing listening to our body, responding to what our body is telling us. So if your body's saying, I'm tired and I need rest, that you give it rest. If your body is saying, I need to move, that you move. The more that you respond to the needs of your body and that you come into alignment and in tune with it, it's just going to be easier to become healthier overall, and it's just going to help with your metabolism. So that was a long one. Sorry that was so long, but I just think it's so valuable and so important. Next, number 2, prioritize a sleep and rest routine. So in order to boost your metabolism and optimize your metabolism, you are going to have to get enough sleep. You really can't look over this one. There's really no way to get over getting enough sleep. And personally, I believe that it's the foundation of having a healthy metabolism. But sleep is definitely an essential component and a building block for our metabolism. So as a starting point, just take an inventory over how you've been sleeping over the last couple of weeks. Have you been getting at least 8 hours of sleep per night for the last couple of weeks? Because if not, that's going to be step 2. You need to sleep. You need to prioritize your sleep. So don't move on to the next step. You can stop the video right here if you need to before you move on to the next step. But definitely get the sleep in order. And I think it's also important to rest. So even when you are not sleeping, you need to have times when your body is not busy and in motion and accomplishing goals, but when you have an opportunity to cease from work and rest. That is going to help with your metabolism in order for you to be able to be more efficient, maintain your weight, and do all the things that you desire to do. So we all know that lack of sleep is harmful to our overall health and detrimental. Of course, I think that a lot of us are aware that having lack of sleep leads us to having an increased risk of things such as cardiovascular disease, depression, diabetes, and also cause weight gain. So metabolism also is diminished by lack of sleep. So according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 out of every 3 Americans are not getting at least 8 hours of sleep per night. So that's 1/3. So out of every 3 people that watch this video, there's likely going to be somebody who's not getting enough sleep. So that's a good place to start. And I have personally seen in my own life the value of making sure that a good health and wellness routine starts with the foundation of enough sleep. So I can't probably speak on that enough. And I'll have to provide you all with some tips in another video on how to get more sleep, but it's definitely important. I also recently did a video on daily walks, getting outside, getting fresh air. That definitely helps your sleep. So watch that video. I'll link it below if you're struggling with sleep, because that does improve the quality of your sleep. So if you can't do anything else for your sleep, consider getting out today for a walk. That has been shown to be effective. Number 3, being active throughout the day. So being active throughout the day really, really does help to boost your metabolism. And I think that in the past 10 to 15 years, it's really interesting, because I think what we have seen is that is a shift in our levels of activity, where now more people are having more of a dedicated time of exercise, right? Going to the gym and spending their 30 minutes or 60 minutes putting in their time. And what we've also seen is just a downshift in the activity throughout the day. And while that's important, right? We should get some exercise, or for some of us, we need to go to the gym. Whatever we have to do to get it in can be beneficial. But I know that there's an impact on our overall health if we are just having one time throughout the day when we're active, and then we're sedentary for the rest of the day. So say we just spend 30 minutes in the gym, we hit it hard, but then for the rest of the day, we're sitting down and doing nothing. That is not optimal for your overall metabolism. In order to improve your metabolism, it's important that you're getting activity throughout the day. Even small bursts of activity throughout the day have been shown to be really, really helpful. So if you are someone who, you really have a job where you're essentially kind of sitting down all day and you don't have to do much movement, trying to find ways to incorporate small bursts of activity throughout your day can be really, really helpful in increasing your metabolism. I know that with some of my patients, what I have them do is maybe set a timer or something, especially those who work from home, that every couple hours it alerts you to go ahead and stand up, get moving, move around, step, do whatever you need to do to kind of maintain some level of activity during the day. I think I'm one of those people who tend towards being a little bit more active during the day. I kind of like to move around, and I prefer activities that involve physical movement, but I know everybody is different. So if you're on the end of the spectrum where you tend to prefer more activities that involve sitting down, that type of thing, then you may have to be intentional about incorporating more of that activity. Number 4, incorporate strength training into your workout routine. So as it relates to metabolism, strength training is really shown to be beneficial. So if you're getting into the gym, you're hitting it hard, you're doing your cardio, that's wonderful, that helps. But really starting to do some strength training is shown to be most beneficial when it comes to your metabolism. So you're gonna have to get out of your comfort zone, get over to those weights and start doing some lifting, right? So what we found with strength training is that as you begin to build muscle mass, it helps to kind of shift the balance. And when you have more muscle mass, it helps to improve your overall fat burning and your overall metabolism. So that has shown to be extremely beneficial. Also, number 5, eating a healthy diet with sufficient protein. So you definitely want to make sure that you're eating a clean diet. Whole foods is important. Trying to avoid the processed foods, those types of things, and getting sufficient protein are ways in which you can also improve and boost your metabolism. Number 6 is managing your stress. Very, very important when it comes to your metabolism. And definitely we've seen an increase in the research that supports the significance of stress as it relates to your metabolism and your overall weight. So what we know is that having excessive levels of stress can adversely impact your health and wellness. I'm sure that you know that. But in addition to that, being under a lot of stress alters your hormones. In particular, for us as women over 40, we're already having some changes in our hormone levels. And so increase in stress will cause an increase in your cortisol levels, and this will cause your body to want to store excessive fat. In particular, it'll cause your body to want to store excessive fat in the belly area, right? And that's one of the reasons why we as women over 40 kind of struggle with that belly fat. So what is cortisol? Cortisol is your body's primary stress hormone, right? It helps your body to kind of do what it needs to do when it's in fight or flight. So it helps you to become it increases your blood pressure, increases your heart rate, gives you a certain level of focus, causes your digestive system to slow down because it kind of wants to shoot all the resources to focusing on the problem at hand. The issue with cortisol, however, is that it shouldn't be high all the time. You shouldn't be functioning in fight or flight all the time. That's when you're going to experience symptoms such as like fatigue, irritability, low libido. Those are some of the signs and symptoms that you may have high levels of stress and high levels of cortisol. So work on managing stress. Always easier said than done, I agree. But sometimes I think it's interesting for us to recognize that stress management is extremely important because we sometimes don't even realize that we're operating under high levels of stress. We're not consciously aware, right? Until the stressor is gone. Now, if the stressor is day-to-day life and that stressor is never gone, then you just may not recognize the impact that having those high levels of stress are having on your body. So taking time to incorporate times of relaxation is extremely important. If you're going through a particularly difficult situation, making sure that you seek out help, resources, therapy, support, trying to find ways to help manage, mitigate, and learn how to manage stress, and also recognize that stress definitely is a normal part of life. So having tools in your toolbox on what to do when you're under extreme stress, ways in which you manage that rather than allowing yourself to get to a point that you're completely burnt out, I think is extremely essential, and also will in turn help your metabolism overall. And finally, I will say one way that we can boost our metabolism is to stay hydrated. Okay, stay hydrated. So drinking enough water. I know that you hear it all the time. I know that you get tired of me telling you to drink your water, but girl, drink your water. It's gonna help your metabolism. So if there's only one thing that you can do today to help your metabolism, go drink some water. So that's all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, put a like on this video, leave a comment, tell me what I missed. Is there something that you've noticed that has helped your metabolism? What are you working towards? How are you finding ways to manage your stress? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.